everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ashley and I own a small business over on Etsy called Simply Cozy Treasures. And if you watched last week's video, you know that I was kind of dealing with like a weird, I don't know, sickness, energy level thing. So I appreciate it if you stuck through that short video. This week I am feeling a lot better, so there are some things that I definitely want to get to, some things that I couldn't do last week just because I frankly just had no energy, didn't want to do it. The big thing that I talked about in the last week video towards the end was the fact that I make little leather tags here in the house, and I have a laser engraver thing next door. So I just wanted to show you guys that, yep, I did make those this last weekend, or the other day, yeah, the weekend when I was feeling better. They do work, but now that I need to get them all sewn on, and the reason I was doing this is because I didn't want that Chicago screw on the backside to potentially scrape the front of your screens. So I wanted to create the sew on labels so that that wouldn't be an issue. Also, my neutral buttons came in. I do like them a lot. I was able to get a large chunk of all of the book sleeves that I had put together, all of the buttons sewn on. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm 100% in love with them. I don't know if I need to go with like a darker wood or something like that, but for now, like, they all match, which is what I wanted, is the ability to go over and pick stuff up and be able to sew them on so that they actually, you know, were all cohesive. They looked nice. They were all the same size. I knew exactly what I needed to do, and that way everything was the same. So I didn't have specific like colorways associated with a certain type of button and then can't find that button anymore, because as with all things in the world, it just seems like every time you find something that you actually enjoy using, they just quit making it for some reason. So I figured neutral is probably better. I'll probably see if this company offers some like dark wood ones for more, so like on my darker toned ones, we could probably put a dark wood. That way we can flip, and then like honestly, these ones on the lighter tone ones, I think the light tone actually goes well. So I'll play around with that and see if I can get some like dark wood ones. I think that would make this not stick out so much, is really what I'm getting at. Anyway, long story short, I think what I want to do this week is definitely finish these up now that I've got those little labels put together. And then I do need to do some computer work today. It's not, you know, it's just my monthly expense wrap up thing that I need to do just to make sure that, you know, I'm set for, you know, the coming months or whatever. And then I guess it's just a lot of finishing work that I really want to do today. It's not going to be very exciting, at least today. But later this week, possibly even tomorrow, I do want to do the candle making thing because I want to. I've wanted to do it for a couple of weeks now. And so I want to be able to do that. So I'm going to work on that. I'll probably record some B-roll footage of me sewing the new labels on, but I just wanted to pop on this morning and just say good morning, welcome to the vlog. Hopefully we're back on our regular routine of just following me along a little bit each day, but we'll see how that goes. If the candle making becomes a catastrophe, I guess that's foreshadowing, we don't know, then I guess that's just part of how these vlogs go for some reason. So I'll quit blabbing at you, we'll get started, and we'll just continue from there. So welcome back, here we go. So it is now Wednesday. So the last clip that I filmed for you guys was on Monday, and I said I was going to go do some admin stuff. The admin work took a little longer than I had originally thought it was going to, as with all things. So that took a little longer than I had anticipated. And then as I was, I guess, beat-bopping around this morning, I was picking some stuff up, and I realized I have a lot of projects that I'm kind of like, they're at the end of, that I just haven't finished in terms of like a couple of the crochet stuff. So I wanted to just pop on and basically say I'm going to do some what I call the finishing work on some of this stuff. And then, yeah, well, anyway, so that's what I want to do today. I want to do some of the finishing work, and what I've decided for my mug rugs, I've deactivated the listing. By the time you see this video, it should already be back up and they should be corrected. I've decided to do like a white fringe on all of my mug rugs, one to keep it consistent across all of them, and that way the yarn skeins that I have, I could potentially make more than just one of from each, because I was playing yarn chicken every single time with them. And then when I put the fringe of the matching color on, it didn't pop as much as I thought it was going to. So I was like, I pulled the listings down because I was like, I just don't know if that's really what I want on there. So I made a decision. I was like, you know what, white's a clean color, and I have decided I'm going to double up on the fringe, because before I was just doing one strand in there where you'd only have the two things sticking out, but now I'm double stranding, so you have 4. And I plan to get, after I finish these, because I have a whole heaping stack that I need to fix here. I guess not fix, it's finish work. I need to finish them because this is how I decided that I wanted to complete the projects on these. So once I do that, I'll take my little comb and comb them out so that they fluff up a little bit. But I think the white is going to give it a nice finished border look to it, and they just won't seem like just these random squares. And I guess that's where I need your guys' input too. If I just do ones with fringe, because that's my plan right now, or would you prefer them an option with fringe or without fringe? So this is like a halfway done one, because I was testing to make sure that I was doing it. So it's like, this is what the fringe would look like. This is without the fringe. And it's obviously not complete fringe either. So just tell me which one like you would prefer. I don't have an issue doing either one, to be honest. I like making them. So it's just, do you want one with fringe? Do you want one without fringe? So right now I'm just going to offer them with fringe because I think it makes it look a little more cohesive, gives it a little something extra, and I truly just think it looks a little more polished. This looks like it's at the final stages for some reason, and it's just not complete yet. So that's my thought process on that. And then the stuff that you see in the background, so I've made multiple more colorways of the book sleeves, because my new yarn shipment from Michaels came in. I did buy more of the tiramisu, or the Karen tiramisu cake, and so I picked up the green one. I tried to buy colors that I normally don't gravitate towards. Me personally, I gravitate more towards like navies and blues and like, you know, these types of colors, blues. I'm not necessarily, and purples. So like galaxy colors, I guess, is the best way to describe it. So galaxy colors is normally what I gravitate towards more. I'm not necessarily a green person, even though this one does have blue and stuff in it. It's more green than anything. And I was like, well, it worked out really pretty, and I do really, really like the new Karen tiramisu cakes. I think they look really good. So I have that one. And then I did, I think I showed you guys this one. I did this one, but like I lean more towards colors like this. They're kind of like more neutral with pops of colors and things like that. I lean more towards this than I do, say, like pinks and stuff like that. And then another one that I put together because I was just messing around with the yarn that I had was this one. So this one has that sparkly pink yarn in it paired with another one. These are both, I love this yarn. I just don't remember the colorways, and if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. But so what I'm going to do is I would like, very much so, I'm like looking up towards the ceiling because I'm thinking that that's where it's at. Anyway, what I would like to do when I do these listings, in the description, I'm going to be very intentional about the variations that I do for this. So you'll have the name of whatever this one will be. I haven't figured it out yet, one, because I'm still doing finishing work for these. But whatever the name is, I will make sure that it pairs with, say, like this happens to be picture number 5 on the Etsy listing, it will tell you the yarn that I used, both the name and the colorway. Well, I guess that's the same thing, right? So both the brand and the colorway, I guess is what I should say. So if you're interested in that as well, you know exactly what yarn to pick up. But I was playing around with that, so I made this one. I will say I'm a little addicted to making them, just because I now have a bunch of like different colorway options and things like that I really like. But I also like, I genuinely enjoy them, and I think they're a lot of fun, so I think that's cool. I have slowed down on the mesh market bags because I was obviously, this has been my new like in the evening working on project, because I have a bunch of different colorways and things that I can combine together, and I can go through the stash of yarn that I already have, and I'm like, oh, I'm looking at my yarn in a new way. It's actually pretty exciting. So I'm looking at my yarn in a new light, in a new way, and I'm like, ooh, that's really exciting. So I just kind of follow the excitement, and that's kind of how the projects come to fruition. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while, so I'm glad that I've finally figured out the stitch. There's some other stitches that are like obviously popping up on my Pinterest board now that I'm like, ooh, maybe that one would be cool. So I think I'll test out a couple other things, but I'm really excited to have these coming. I don't know what I'll technically name these yet because of the type of stitch that it has. I've just been calling them my puff covers because this is a puff stitch. And I don't really think that like that sounds okay. But yeah, they're my puff stitch puff covers. But they're book sleeves. They're what for your e-readers, right? So like I have to figure it out. I'll come up with a better name. But anyway, I had a whole bunch of finishing work, and I think in the last clip I was telling you guys, because I was a little torn between these neutral colored buttons. I was trying to standardize it across all of my book sleeves because I was like, it just makes sense that way. If for whatever reason the button that I found that went with the product for some reason isn't available, and let's just say I bought it in September, and then it's like, oh, I need it in like, I don't know, July, and I go back to the store to pick it up and they don't have it, because that's happened to me. I have a couple of like cup cozies that I've done this with. Specifically these ones, these were made with the Yarn Bee Pearl Spun Matcha Green and this Boba Tea button. I really, really like this together. I think it's really cute, but I can't find this freaking button. Like, I want to go back, because I went to Hobby Lobby and that's where I found these, but I can't find this Boba Tea button there anymore. So I'm just like, oh shoot. So the two that I have, I guess, are the two that I have, and I'll eventually, maybe they'll come back, but I have no idea why they're not there anymore. But I have that, but that's what I'm saying, is like, that was what I was concerned about, because I fell in love with these buttons, and that's like experience talking, I guess, at this point. Anyway, long-winded clip for that. I think in the first clip I was telling you, I wanted to keep them the same. What I have decided, because I did not particularly like how this, my I Love This Yarn plum came together, and how contrasty that neutral button is actually looking on this particular sleeve. So what I've done is I went back on Amazon and I looked to see if this company offered these in the like a dark wood, and they do. So those should be here hopefully today. So I plan to, on all of my dark sleeves, put the dark button just so it neutralizes it a little bit. I think on the light sleeves the natural button looks fine. So I'll have two different button options when those ones come in. Maybe they'll be here today. I have no clue. It's Amazon. So, but I plan to change that one out for a dark wood button. Same two-hole principle, same spot is where it will be. And then this one has the sewn-on label, and I showed you guys that one in that clip. I plan to keep these the same. Eventually, I think I would like to mess around with different colored tabs. But for now, I think this one is a nice universal. Like, I think it goes with pretty much everything in a nice subtle way, and it keeps it pretty consistent. What I would hate to do is start like changing all of my labels to be like, oh, now I offer a white label, I offer a blue label, I offer a bright green label for some reason. Those are fun, and maybe those will be like one-off things, but for consistency's sake, I think I'm going to keep to this color. But just something that I was thinking about, because that, you know, They're relatively easy to make now that I know the process and I understand the process. So it wouldn't be hard for me to do that piece either. But I think that's where I'm at for today. I would like to do the candle making thing, but as I was going through and like trying to like, I guess, clean up my table a little bit, I realized how much I have that I need to actually finish. And I have a stack of stuff over here that, and I'm pointing to the black shelf that you guys have seen. I have a stack of stuff that I absolutely need to get some photos taken for. The weather here has just been super gloomy. It's probably really dark-ish in this clip. The light that I have that I turn on, I don't know. I don't think it does well for the clip, but I just have like I think it's three. Let me look. I think it's three. Well, no, four. I have 4 mesh market bags that I still need to take pictures of. And the last one that I finished, I think I told you guys about this. This is the mango stonewash one. So this one's finished finally. And this is the last one that I did. So this was like a couple weeks ago now, probably, that I finished it. And then I realized when we were doing the Centro stuff together, I never showed you the completed beanie that we did. The one that we actually got completed. This is how it turned out. I'm sorry. I will get better at that. I realized after I finished that clip or that video and everything, and I was like done with it, and I was like, oh, I never even showed them the finished beanie. I showed you the tube. The tube was awesome. But the good thing about this is, like, I don't think I've ever told you guys this either, and I apologize that this is such a long chatty clip. Apparently I had a bunch of finishing work things I wanted to tell you. On the insides of my beanies, I use these little wooden button things that I can make on my little laser engraver. It's super easy to make too. But I do that so that if you ever needed to wash the beanies, you can pop the beanies off. They just have an elastic thing on the inside. And so you can just pop them off. Same with my my leather tag. That's why I use the Chicago screws. So if you, for whatever reason, needed to take them off, you can. You can unscrew them, take them off, wash them. I have not washed my beanies before. I'll be honest, washing beanies has never really been a thing that I've done. But I guess if you wanted to, you could. But yeah, I've made it so that I try to make everything so that you can take the pom-pom off and you can take the tags off if you feel inclined that you need to take those things off because you're concerned about your washing machine. I've never washed them. I can't give you any personal experience of how how that would change, but that's why I use those types of screws on my stuff. But yeah, so I want to do that today. I'm probably going to do like a B-roll footage of me potentially getting this done, or maybe I wouldn't bore you guys with that, with the finishing work, but I'll just show it to you at the end because I have, gosh, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mug rugs that I need to get fringed. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 book sleeves I need to get the little leather tags on. And technically I need to wait on those ones too because some of them I'm changing out the buttons for. And then I have 2 cup cozies. Oh, I didn't show you this one. I did this one up the other day. I have 2 cup cozies that I need to put the little leather tag on so that they're on there. Because I think that will look nice. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've done some cleanup around the studio a little bit. But otherwise, I just wanted to pop in and say, yes, it's Wednesday. And today my plan is just to do some finish work. So if I do some B-roll footage of me working on that stuff, then I'll insert it. But if not, then the next clip that will be on will hopefully be us pulling out that the candle maker, because that would be fun. I think that would be great. But this is just kind of like the behind the scenes of like, this is the stuff I do technically have to do on a weekly basis. It's like I have to keep things moving and finished because as you guys know, studio is very small, so it's like I can't have projects just hanging out on my main workspace here. So I need to get those done and then probably off the desk somewhere. I don't know yet. I haven't figured it out. I'll think about it, I guess. But okay, so laughably, I have been working on these mug rugs for about 45 minutes, and I've managed to do 2. So I decided I wasn't going to do a time lapse of you guys watching me do that because I was just trying to figure some stuff out. I figured out how I want to cut my fringe, so I'm excited about that, but I wanted to show you the couple that I've been able to do so you can see kind of like what I'm talking about. So these are completely finished now, and they have the fringe on the outside, and they've been, you know, combed out so they're a little fuller, so they look nice. And I'm really excited about how they're actually coming out. I didn't anticipate how long it was going to take me, one, to figure out how I wanted to cut the fringe, how I wanted to go through and attach the fringe. You would think it'd be an easy thing. I figured it out now, and I think it'll be a little quicker. Excuse me, gosh. I think it'll be a little quicker. It's taken me a hot minute for some reason to get through these 2 and get the fringe cut. I also realized as I was going through, as typical, I put my tags on the wrong side for some of them, so I have to go back through, remove the tags, and put them on in a different spot. But I just wanted to show that I did go through and put the sew-on tags for all of my stuff. I have divided this stuff into 2 piles because there are, so like this pile, these ones, I'm going to put the dark buttons on. So I have all of some of them have buttons. The last one does not have a button. I showed you the green one. I'm going to go through and make sure that I put the dark buttons on. They just haven't shown up yet. So when I do that, these ones will get the dark ones, and they all have their tags sewn on. So at least there's forward progress with that. All of the ones that need the neutral buttons, they all have their tags sewn on. And I use the same yarn so that it matches the book sleeve. So everything comes together and it looks very natural, I guess. So they all have their little tags on them. I'm very excited about them. I'm waiting for a good sunshiny day so we can get some natural light in here so I can start taking photos of these and get these listed up on Etsy. And by the time I think this vlog comes out, they'll probably already be listed, so it's probably old news at that point. But I just want to try to get that done. Fighting with the gloomy weather here, so I'm just trying to do what I can with what I got. Otherwise, I just wanted to pop on really quick and give that quick update. I think I'm going to take a break and probably switch over to doing some computer work that I need to do that's still piling up that I need to work on in the background. And then when I get tired of staring at that screen, I'll pop back over and continue working on the mug rugs, because I would like to get those product photos when we get a good day updated so I can get those re-released back on to the website. But other than that, that was just a quick pop-on update. I know the last clip you guys watched was incredibly long, so I just didn't feel like doing a B-roll of you guys watching me struggle through what I was doing. So I will hopefully see you later today. If not, we'll just go from there. So this has been a week. We did not get up to the candle making at all. In fact, I'm actually sitting on my computer for what seems like the 5th day in a row doing some pretty heavy admin stuff, which is fine. It's not stuff that you guys really get to see because it's I think it's boring just to sit and watch somebody just like tippy tap type on their keyboard all day. So I just wanted to pop on and just give you an update. It's Friday. Yesterday was a very heavy admin day, and in terms of like admin stuff, like I was telling you, this week we've been focused solely on like what did I call it? Finishing work. So I did a lot of my finishing work. I showed clips of that for you guys and stuff like that. And then just like behind the scenes, I've had to go through, as I was telling you previously, I've been doing kind of like an Etsy shop audit, sort of. Just going through and making sure that the stuff that I posted or that I've listed that's been in the shop for a while actually makes sense still. And I found just recently, unfortunately, and that's just the nature of the beast, is that a lot of my listings were not correct. Case in point, a lot of the tags that I had in things were words combined together. So for example, like magnetic bookmarks were all one word. So if you were searching for magnetic bookmarks and you weren't using it as one word, you weren't going to find it. So I realized I had to go in and redo that. And then I realized when I was doing my product photo shoot yesterday that a bunch of like my book sleeve photos, they were good, but they weren't conveying in that one image like what is this product. So they kind of just looked like fabric rectangles on a placemat, if that makes sense. So if you've gone through the Etsy shop recently, you'll notice that I have changed some product photos. So now all of my book sleeves showcase a snippet of like what a Kindle looks like. On the main thumbnail has a Kindle, has some books, just so that it can convey quickly through a scroll, like, oh, these are, you know, this can fit my e-reader, this can fit books, this can fit a plethora of things. I also did some tweaking of my like measurements type thing, a guide for my book sleeves. So now if you peruse my book sleeves, you'll see that my small, medium, large all have a size guide and what will typically fit in those size variations. So it just makes it easier for you if you're going through there and be like, I don't really know if this is gonna fit. And as I said in one of my vlogs, my large book sleeves will fit most tablets. They won't fit the big iPad Pro. It does fit my iPad Pro, but that's the 11-inch version. So I just throw that out there again just to make sure that people understand that. And then I went through and I've obviously did a bunch of editing of my videos I use CapCut for a lot of my video editing, all of my video editing, for my YouTube videos, for my Etsy videos, for all of that stuff. I just use CapCut. The free version is amazing if you guys actually are looking for video editing software. Highly recommend them. They're very easy to use. Open source, I think, or OpenShot, not open source. OpenShot was one that I used a long time ago. That's also very user-friendly. So those are just the things. And today, honestly, is going to be another big admin heavy day because yesterday was all of the product photo shoot, finishing work for a lot of my products and things like that. So I guess I came on just to say this is where this vlog's gonna end this week, and I'm hoping next week will be more of like the hands-on stuff that you guys really like to see. But I just did not think me doing like B-roll of me sitting on my computer just typing away was gonna be something that you were interested in. I did insert some stuff from my X tool that you've seen, and then I did insert a couple clips of me actually crocheting and working on some stuff. I'm still working on those things. I did finish that book sleeve that I showed you in that B-roll footage. That one's called the, I think we call it Pastel Garden. I'm getting ready to upload it on Etsy, is why I keep looking over here, because I have finally named those products. And those will be going up. By the time this video is out, they'll be up, so you guys can be able to go and shop them. And then I'll leave that a link to my Etsy shop in the description below. I'm able to do that now, so like YouTube doesn't have me in YouTube jail anymore, which is great. If you're new to YouTube, you understand what I'm saying, which is great. It's all a learning experience. I did not expect that this week would be so computer centric and so reliant on like finalizing some products that I've been working on. But I'm excited because I think next week we'll be able to, do a craft adjacent type of thing. And I hope, I say this every video, I hope I get to do some crafting adjacent type stuff. But that's just the nature of running a small business. Sometimes I have to really lock in, really focus to get some of the stuff that is not as fun done, so that I can continue to do the creating part that I do find very, very enjoyable. So anyway, if you've made it to the end, I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. If you feel like having a conversation with me, go ahead and comment below and just let me know what you're up to. And then I guess if there's any books, let's do this. If there's any books that you're reading that you think that I should read, I guess comment down below and let me know. Right now, I will tell you, a little sneaky peek, I have finally decided to start reading The Prior of the Orange Tree. If you haven't read that book yet, I'm about halfway through it. It's a chonker of a book, but it is amazing. I could sit here and chat at you probably all day about it. I don't know why I waited so long to start that series. It's amazing. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below what books you're reading. And then I will see you in next week's vlog. Bye.